You, Claude, can you hear me? Great. Well, thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch and you're back in the room wide awake and raring to go. So as Claude indicated, the topic of this debate is the added value of training and employment for the European nuclear sector. I have, as panelists this afternoon, Juhani Huvarinen, who's a professor of modelling in nuclear engineering at the Lappeenranta University of Technology. Next to him we have Aapo Tomila, who is a nuclear engineering student, also at the Lappeenranta University of Technology. We then have Joe Tipa, who is the managing director of NSAN, the National Skills Academy for Nuclear. And at the end of the panel is Alexander Grillat, who is the National Secretary of the CFE-Energies Federation. It's very important that the nuclear sector has the skilled workforce that it needs. Within FORATOM, we commissioned a study from FTI Consulting last year, and they concluded that in order for Europe to achieve its decarbonisation target, there would need to be around 150 gigawatt of installed capacity in the EU by 2050. This study was then followed up by a further study by Deloitte, which looked at the economic impact and in particular on the job side. And Deloitte concluded that 150 gigawatt of installed nuclear capacity would translate into over 1.3 million jobs sustained by the nuclear industry, nearly half of which would be highly skilled jobs. This clearly shows the importance of ensuring that we're encouraging young people today into the nuclear sector and making sure that they have the right skills to help the industry moving forward. So without further ado, I would like to hand over to Jo, who's going to give us a brief introduction. We could have her slides, please. Technical problems? Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, just a very quick overview of what NSAN is. You might be sitting there thinking, oh God, what on earth is this? NSAN was created 13 years ago, and it was a joint venture between government and employers. We had 3 years funding to get us started, and since then is entirely funded by membership and other activities, so we don't receive any government funding anymore. We are the go-to place for skills for nuclear, particularly in the UK, and we have a really powerful network of employers and providers, and we provide practical solutions to support organisations in the sector. So we're, as I say, financially supported by 100 companies at the moment, and that's right across the whole of the fuel cycle, and that's in civil and defence. A whole range of different organisations are engaged with us. And what we've done over our period of time is work collaboratively with those employers and training providers to create skill solutions that it makes it much more cost effective. And actually when you're collaborating and putting together courses or very simple skills interventions with the power of the knowledge of a whole range of different organisations, it really helps to give you some really good products, which NSAN has. Plus also we work very closely with employers and providers. We have a regional team who work one-to-one with those employer members and really understands their skills issues that they have, which means that as a team we have huge insight into what is happening now and in the future in the nuclear industry. We also are very much about putting on the Nuclear Skills Awards, and really over the last 13 years it's about celebrating the success of the industry and the people of the industry in the UK. So we work particularly in we'd say 6 areas really. Apprenticeships, again, really important in the UK as part of our overall skills system. And NSAN is again very much involved in that, encouraging the uptake of additional apprentices as the lifeblood really for the industry. And we also work with supporting employers and training providers with recruitment. We have a whole range of different skills and training needs analysis. We can work with employers on that. We have created a range of e-learning materials, short courses on the whole, but sort of mainly entry-level courses in a number of different areas. We call it the Triple Bar Suite, which is actually entry point level skills that have been created across the industry to support upskilling of people going onto sites in the new build situation, organisations who are working in manufacturing perhaps for the first time, so a whole range of different skill sets there. And further than that, we've also put together more very bespoke training courses, again, in a lot of cases supporting manufacturers in making sure that they take the opportunities that happen in the industry. And finally, we created a competence and learning management tool. We worked with the industry to put together an overall competence framework for a whole range of different job roles, and we have the technology to allow people to move from site to site and showing their competence management, their competence, and also allows learning and development or HR to be able to manage their skills gaps and shortages. Yeah, that's just a very quick overview of Skills Assured. So it looks at competence. We have a skills passport that allows people just to move from site to site. Gives really good comprehensive reporting. It allows a company to put a team together, looking at key competencies, so particularly supply chain, working to a client. They can actually pick the competencies that are defined as part of that piece of work and put a team together based on those competencies. And we also have a training directory attached to that, so if people need to upskill their staff in key areas that are shown by the skills gaps, we can signpost them as to where they can get those skills. And that's pretty well me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe. I would now like to hand over to Juhani.
Okay. All right, here we go. We are from the Lappeenranta University of Technology. Actually, formally our name was changed to Lappeenranta-Lahden, so that's why you see two different names in the program. Don't be confused. We like to think of ourselves as the trailblazers, so breaking new ground, sometimes breaking new ice, and there is a bright future towards which we are striving for. It's a bit funny picture really, but I like to show it nevertheless because we think beyond the boundaries of the let's say most we think stuff that other people don't always do. Our education portfolio in nuclear engineering starts with an English language Bachelor of Science in Energy Technologies, and then we have a master's program in nuclear engineering, and this is the only nuclear engineering major program in Finland. So you want to become a Master of Science in Engineering and want to have some knowledge in nuclear engineering, you need to come to us. We cooperate also Europe-wide with IMT Atlantic and Universidad Politécnico Madrid and University of Ljubljana in the form of a Sarena project, which just started this autumn. And those students are now in Nantes, and they will come to us after the beginning of next year. We have some doctoral science study opportunities also. It's not a big program really to call it a program, but there are opportunities. And then one very important thing that we do is a complementary professional education on safety of nuclear power plants and safety of nuclear waste management. This we call the YJK course from Finnish language. And this is a joint effort run naturally, run by the whole nation, so the whole Finnish nuclear community is contributing to this, sending students and buying seats or places for these students by providing teaching on this course. And this working model where we share the effort for common benefit we call talkoot in Finnish. So few words that you can take with you when you go home if you don't know any Finnish. You know, kiitos for thank you and talkoot for working together with no pay, just for the benefit of it, because everybody helping each other, then we can survive in our conditions. We also do research. University without research is would be not worth the name. We focus on nuclear reactor thermal hydraulics, nuclear reactor safety, also some reactor physics, and we cooperate with Finnish industries very closely and the Finnish authorities as well. I should have mentioned the authorities as well. We get funding, research funding from the Academy of Finland, from the Horizon projects, National Nuclear Safety Research Program SAFIR, and then obviously contract research that we help national customers and domestic customers and international customers. So we have had several French companies whom we have been able to help on some topics. Some of them are shy, they don't want to be explicitly named. So I will respect that, obviously. And finally, our research also leads to innovation. So one idea that we have started to develop now is this 24 megawatt thermal Suomi reactor for SMR, Fin reactor in the English language, a nuclear reactor just for district heating. When we sell heat, we can sell 100% of the production. So it is inherently going to be more cost efficient than selling electricity. Nuclear reactor generates heat. We can sell the whole production. When we convert it to electricity, it's just 1/3 that we can sell. And on the right-hand side, you can see a picture of one of our most recent test facilities, the Motel Modular Test Loop, next generation thermal hydraulic test loop, which we will be able to configure to represent any nuclear power plant in Finland. In this picture you see it in the SMR configuration, because that's the least well understood topic that we have at the moment. Other types of power plants we've already investigated, and we have some idea of how they behave in normal operation, transients and accidents and severe accidents. But not so for SMR, so we are ready to embark on this sometime early next year. So with this brief introduction, I'm ready to turn over to the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juhani. And I'd like to hand over to Alexandre for your first thoughts.
Alors désolé, je vais parler en français. Alors, je vais être le représentant des salariés, puisqu'effectivement, dans l'introduction qui a été faite précédemment, je suis le secrétaire national en charge des affaires publiques de la fédération syndicale CFE-CGC dans le secteur de l'énergie. Donc quelque part, je vais essayer de relater dans le débat la parole des salariés et notamment de l'industrie nucléaire européenne. Alors j'introduirai mon propos par une conviction, c'est que selon nous, la transition bas carbone de l'Europe ne réussira que si elle est juste et si elle repose sur une véritable ambition sociale. Alors pourquoi je vous dis ça? Tout simplement parce qu'au niveau européen, les salariés se sont organisés à travers deux fédérations européennes des syndicats, que sont d'un côté EPSU, la Fédération européenne des services publics, et Industrial Europe, qui est la fédération européenne des syndicats de l'industrie européenne. Et c'est à travers ces deux associations syndicales que les salariés européens prennent part au débat européen. Donc une première idée que je souhaiterais partager avec vous à travers ces deux fédérations européennes, c'est que selon nous, l'énergie est au cœur du défi climatique et que donc l'énergie bas carbone doit être au cœur du projet européen. Et je citerai juste le World Energy Outlook qui est sorti aujourd'hui de l'AIE, qui disait clairement que les politiques énergétiques restent largement insuffisantes pour respecter l'accord de Paris. Donc les organisations syndicales européennes s'appuient sur l'urgence climatique pour défendre les industries bas carbone, dont pour défendre le nucléaire. Donc les syndicats de salariés sont à la manœuvre pour défendre la place du nucléaire dans le mix énergétique européen. De notre point de vue, nous défendons que l'investissement massif dans les infrastructures bas carbone et les technologies bas carbone européennes doivent être défendus parce que nous sommes convaincus que politique énergétique, politique industrielle et politique climatique doivent aller de pair. Donc ça, ce sont des messages que les salariés, à travers leurs représentants, portent dans le débat européen. Une deuxième conviction, et ça a été dit à plusieurs reprises hier, c'est que nous sommes convaincus qu'on ne défendra pas les technologies bas carbone et les investissements industriels associés si on ne change pas le logiciel aujourd'hui à l'œuvre au niveau de la construction européenne. Nous sommes convaincus que la concurrence qui aujourd'hui drive l'ensemble des investissements sur les signaux économiques de court terme la concurrence n'est pas compatible avec l'impératif de long terme qu'imposent les investissements bas carbone et notamment le nucléaire. Alors venons-en finalement au cœur de mon propos sur l'ambition sociale de la transition énergétique et climatique que nous défendons. Alors aujourd'hui, le gouvernement français, je vais prendre une focale un peu française, dans son pacte productif, il défend la reconquête industrielle du pays. Et la nouvelle présidente de la Commission européenne n'hésite pas à mettre le climat au cœur de son projet politique. Pour nous, cette ambition sociale de la transition énergétique, ça doit d'abord être une question industrielle et une question de maîtrise des chaînes de la création de valeur reposant sur une véritable stratégie européenne de chaque État membre et d'une stratégie européenne que nous appelons de nos voeux en matière industrielle qui aujourd'hui n'est pas au rendez-vous. Pourquoi je vous dis ça et pourquoi les salariés européens défendent ça? C'est parce que nous sommes convaincus que la transition énergétique et climatique, et volontairement j'emploie les deux adjectifs, elle doit offrir des emplois qualifiés et durables aux citoyens européens et les citoyens européens en tant que salariés. Or, d'ailleurs, Margrethe Vestager, pas plus tard que début novembre ou début octobre, je ne me souviens plus trop, dans une interview dans un journal français, n'a pas hésité d'y dire qu'elle confondait l'intérêt général européen avec l'intérêt des consommateurs. Nous rajouterons que c'est aussi l'intérêt des citoyens en tant que salariés qu'il faut défendre et que l'intérêt général n'est pas uniquement l'intérêt des consommateurs. Bref, vous l'aurez compris, notre organisation syndicale et plus largement les syndicats européens défendent que la transition énergétique doit aboutir à la construction de filières industrielles bas carbone qui soient réellement industrielles sur l'ensemble de la chaîne de valeur, y compris la fabrication des équipements qui sont installés pour construire les actifs de production électrique. Parce que si les choix de politique énergétique non couplés à une stratégie industrielle, ça conduit à importer des matériels et des équipements qui sont conçus et fabriqués hors d'Europe, pour les salariés européens, le bilan est plus que négatif. Alors, la deuxième question en termes d'ambition sociale, pour nous, c'est la question des compétences. La transition énergétique, c'est une transition digitale, une transition qui est décentralisée, qui fait appel à de nouvelles énergies, à l'efficacité énergétique, mais aussi aux technologies bas carbone existantes comme le nucléaire. Donc on n'arrivera pas à réussir la transition énergétique si les compétences ne sont pas en rendez-vous. Ça pose la question de la gestion prévisionnelle des compétences, de la formation initiale et continue, du développement de l'apprentissage, de la mobilisation de l'enseignement supérieur, tout ça pour attirer les talents, attirer les jeunes dans des filières industrielles d'avenir, comme le nucléaire, et réussir les reconversions pour les territoires qui verraient les énergies très carbonées remplacées progressivement par des énergies peu carbonées. Je pense que vous l'aurez compris, aujourd'hui, la transition énergétique au niveau européen a un angle mort, c'est la question sociale, c'est la question de l'ambition sociale. Et que si on ne la traite pas, on n'arrivera pas à susciter l'adhésion des salariés pour la transition énergétique, et que donc nous défendons clairement que tout choix de politique énergétique sur lequel repose la transition énergétique et climatique doit avoir une ambition sociale pour susciter l'adhésion et susciter la mobilisation des salariés pour réussir cette transition.
Thank you very much, Alexandre. And I'd now like to turn to Apo. And Apo, I actually have a question for you, because obviously you've decided to follow a nuclear path in your studies, and it would be great if you could give us an idea as to what kind of encouraged this decision, and whether you have any suggestions as to what the sector should be doing in order to encourage more young people to follow a nuclear career.
Good afternoon, and thank you. For me, the nuclear path starts from deciding to study energy technology. When I started the studies, I was thinking about specializing in solar panels because obviously they are the future. But after studying it for 2 years, I started to slowly realize that they don't actually meet our energy demands. And after reading the books from Rowley and getting introduced to this idea of ROA, I realized that we actually need nuclear power to save the planet. So that's my decision to come to study at the LUT. For the future, first of all, I think we need to change the popular image about nuclear power. I remember last summer there was a study that every fifth person below 30 years old in Finland believes that nuclear power actually produces most CO2 compared to coal. And of course there's the nuclear waste problem that lots of people think that it's unsolvable. The second problem, I think, is in the school system. I was studying here in Helsinki in University of Applied Sciences, and it was actually really hard to find any courses connected concerning nuclear energy. I could only find one course, and I did it in the summer as an internet course. It was organized by Oulu University. And from Helsinki I couldn't find any. Of course Helsinki University has some, I have learned now, but in the applied sciences I couldn't find any. So we could have more courses concerning nuclear energy. Second thing, I've been talking with my colleagues at the school, and most of the people think that studying nuclear energy and nuclear engineering is hard compared to the more traditional ways. And then there is the problem, at least in Finland, that the nuclear power plants are pretty far away from the bigger cities. And of course, young people like to live in the cities where all the life is. And I already met 2 guys from last summer. They quit their jobs in nuclear power plants because they wanted to move somewhere where the people are. So, of course, this is a problem that we can't build these nuclear power plants every place. Okay, I think that's my 2 points. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Apo. Now, I do have some additional questions from my panel, but I just want to check and see whether the audience is still there, still with us and still awake. So, do you have any pressing questions that you would like to raise? Not for the time. Oh, yes, we have one there.
Yes, I would like to ask Hani, the professor in the university, if you also consider in nuclear engineering social sciences and humanities when you teach the students. I've been involved in a European Erasmus Plus project also with countries from universities from Spain, from Czech Republic, from Poland and from Germany, and they think that the engineers, they are not prepared enough also to think about the societal aspects. So we have developed some training courses for them as part of the nuclear engineering training on philosophy of energy development, and so all these aspects. Are you considering this as well?
Thank you for raising this point. This is a very important and interesting point. We don't have that type of courses yet in our curriculum, but we have been talking of this among professors in the university, because we also have a school of business where we have some professors who have written a lot about the history of technology and history of nuclear energy in Finland. And we will see in the future. Personally, I have some first-hand experience of bringing new power plants to new sites. So I fully appreciate the issue that you are raising, that engineers need to understand ordinary people and need to be able to communicate on the same level in order to improve, or in order to give people a realistic appreciation of what we do and what the risks are and what the benefits are. And if we succeed in this, then this solves the public acceptability issue, because the public also works towards solving the social contract issue that was raised by my fellow panelist here. Because the people tend to be in favor of stuff that is to benefit of them. And if they perceive that there is a benefit, the acceptance is fairly easy to win. But if they perceive that the benefit goes to somebody else, some evil big company somewhere abroad, then the story is completely different. And this is a simple fact of life, and a view that to which every one of us actually, if we are honest to ourselves, we subscribe to this view. So this is the way we also think. But short answer to your direct question, no, we don't teach that type of things directly yet, at least.
Yes, Joe, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, in the UK, a number of years ago, NSAN developed what we called the Certificate of Nuclear Professionalism, which was really a top-up. So what employers were saying to us, graduates come to them, and they may be brilliant at nuclear engineering, but they have no communication skills, they're unable to work in a team, they have no idea about commercialisation, and a whole different range of really, I guess in some cases people call them softer skills, but they're not really soft skills. And we put that together with the Open University, with University of Central Lancashire, with Aston University, to come up with a whole course. Unfortunately, there were a few problems with it, in that it was a very long course, and a lot of nuclear engineers, it was just too much. But at the moment we have an issue in that, well, we can see a brewing issue in that we don't have enough subject matter experts in the UK. And again, a lot of subject matter experts may have a depth of knowledge of their own subject area, but are not very good at communicating it. So we are looking at reinvigorating that, exactly as you say, and it's sort of ongoing at the moment, to come up with how do we actually make sure that people are competent in that area in as short a time as possible, to make sure that they're a fully rounded member of a team to be fully effective. So.
Thank you, Joe. And I see, Alexandre, you had something to add.
Effectivement, je voudrais rajouter quelque chose. Les qualités de communication que les salariés du nucléaire doivent avoir sont d'autant plus importantes que l'industrie nucléaire, je dirais en particulier en France, fait face à une société civile qui n'a pas en tête les fondamentaux scientifiques du nucléaire. Je vais juste prendre un exemple. Un peu plus de 2/3 des Français sont convaincus que le nucléaire émet du CO2. Pourquoi ? Parce que beaucoup d'images de communication, ce sont des aéroréfrigérants avec de la fumée, alors que c'est de l'eau. Donc, il faut que les salariés du nucléaire disposent de compétences relationnelles et de communication pour être les premiers ambassadeurs du nucléaire, parce que ce sont bien les salariés du nucléaire qui peuvent être les premiers